ICE agents are out there driving around on, armored vehicles, seizing control of the city. You know what they're liberating it from? The autonomy of African Americans and liberals to exercise their rights to protest. Believe me, this is going to get out of hand.
Yeah.
I love that you take us through the taco timeline. You said the first demand was Russia had to come to the negotiating table in 2 weeks. They didn't. Trump then demanded Russia come to the negotiating table within a week. They didn't. Then Trump gave Moscow 50 days to seek a ceasefire. They didn't. Angry at being ignored, Trump then cut the 50-day deadline down to 12 days. They ignored him again. Ultimately, Trump miraculously announced he will be hosting a Trump-Putin summit in Alaska, which Trump proudly held as meeting with Putin in Russia. A demented faux pas that seemingly gave Alaska back to Russia. So what should we expect from this summit? It's simple. Trump will engineer the greatest betrayal in American history. Bam.
That's right.
Right? So his first technique did not work. Yeah, so shocking, first of all, that Vladimir stopped didn't work. That whole strategy.
Yeah, and Ukraine doesn't even taste good. I mean,
it's not even food.
It's stringy.
Yeah. I kayak every day now, and I just laugh and laugh. But it is a good analogy of what's happening here. Trump is not going to Alaska to say to say Putin stop. You heard what this moron said yesterday. He said, "I'll know within the first 2 minutes if a deal is possible." This man is an ex-KGB spy.
Yeah.
He has murdered his own citizens. He has caused 1 million of his own men and women to die. He does not care about you. What he cares about is the optics of you being his pet, being walked around on a leash. If you saw my Substack, the lead photo is called the real Trump doctrine, which is Trump kissing Putin's butt.
Yep. By the way, you also said Trump wants to lift sanctions on Russia, bring them back into the G7, gain access to the hundreds of billions of dollars of sanctioned Russian money for his own pockets. There's even talk of reviving Trump Tower Moscow, which may have been the incentive for Putin to interfere in 2016. As Nancy Pelosi always says, with him, all roads lead back to Russia.
All roads lead back to Russia through a bank.
Yeah.
Let's just get it straight. All of this is about accessing oligarch money. I wrote a whole book about this in The Plot to Destroy Democracy. It is a global oligarchy in which Trump has joined the axis of autocrats. That's all this is. Trump is now thrown his lot in. Now he's talking about new deals with Xi in China, as if China, who he excoriated throughout the campaign, is his greatest, bestest friend, even while he's ripping our economy apart. This is it's just traitorous in all ways, shapes, and form. But Trump doesn't care. There's money in it. And if there's money in it, he's going to do it.
Yep, you draw it back to Donald Trump as a traitor on par with Benedict Arnold. Only Arnold had the decency to flee the country, take his blood money, and die in shame. Let's see what Trump does. We shall see. I mean, so let's talk about D.C. for a minute.
Jesus.
You retweeted Trump is not rescuing D.C. He's staging a public service spectacle in which an entire city is treated as a target of a SWAT call. He wants to provoke violent confrontations as proof that violence must be quelled. We keep saying it, Malcolm. The test run was here in L.A. He is itching to do martial law, right?
He has this belief that these images of armed white cops, all right, white SWAT teams, ICE officers going around. They're going around in packs of 10, and they're harassing people. There's a video of them stopping a guy, coming up to a guy who's sitting on his front stoop, right, smoking a cigarette, and they go, but Trump is tired of this. Trump is tired of these crimes. You didn't hear about Trump is doing something about this. Let me tell you something. You may be stoking the origins of the first American Revolution. If you guys don't remember where this came from, I made a video about it also on Substack and YouTube that says Massachusetts colony had its legislature dissolved and the governor turned into a king, and that became the Intolerable Acts, and we went into full-scale revolution. Trump is relying on this myth that by sending all of these white policemen into these neighborhoods, dressed like they're in Fallujah, right, with automatic weapons, that they're going to clear out these city streets. Washington, D.C. is 44% black now. It's been gentrified over the last 20 years. I lived there for 10 years in one block and 5 years in another block. I was a homeowner in Washington, D.C. If I saw this on my streets, I'd be cussing and spitting at him.
Yep.
And now they had him down in Adams Morgan last night in the U Street corridor, going after in the gay district, the predominantly gay district, standing out on street corners 10 and 20 at a time, arresting guys who threw a sandwich in their direction.
Yeah.
This is just police state activity. You wanted to see what dictatorship looked like? White guys think, oh, this is never going to happen in Des Moines, Iowa. There's a university there. Yes, it can happen there.
Yeah.
And eventually, someone's going to screw up and someone's going to die.
Yeah.
My question is, when you get out there, it's time for you to start exercising your First Amendment right to assembly and protest peacefully, because they shouldn't be allowed to walk on the streets without you giving them a piece of their mind.
Yeah, not in homophobe Chris Lavoie's America, not big gays throwing big gay sandwiches at people.
Oh, God.
What the Christ. Okay. Loved your last retweet. You said it was good enough to have a several $1 million parade, and now all of a sudden it's crime-ridden. I mean, Malcolm, not even in the top 10 of most violent cities, D.C. It's just, it's at a 30. The crime is at a 30-year low. We can all see the stacks, I mean, and the top most violent cities, of course, are red cities and red states. He's not sending any military there.
New narrative point for you. The greatest series of crimes carried out in Washington, D.C. was on January 6th, right? 1,500 convictions in January 6th, right? Felony convictions, 600 of assault on police officers. And apparently, the Washington, D.C. cops, all right, now are all part of a cabal of cops who have to go around with federal officers. ICE agents are out there driving around on, armored vehicles, seizing control of the city. You know what they're liberating it from? The autonomy of African Americans and liberals to exercise their rights to protest. Believe me, this is going to get out of hand.
Did you see the person that's a clever migrant covers himself with Epstein files so that the Trump administration can't find him? All right, Malcolm, great stuff. Read the Substack. We link to it every week.
Subscribe to it, please.
Fantastic writing as usual. We love you, Malcolm Nance. The bottom line is if you snore now, you are at heightened risk of requiring a CPAP machine later. So now is the time to stop snoring. One of the smartest, fastest, easiest ways to stop snoring is Zyppah. Zyppah is the comfortable doctor-designed mouthpiece that can stop snoring as fast as the first night. Don't be fooled by imitators. Zyppah was proven in a 600-patient clinical trial, and with over 500,000 units sold, Zyppah is the stop snoring device that we trust. No more being nudged awake for snoring, no more sleeping in separate rooms, no more feeling tired and foggy all day due to lack of sleep. Look, this may be your last best chance to solve your snoring problem now, or face having to wear that CPAP mask later. Zyppah, that's Happy Z spelled backward. I want you to try it with my special discount. Get 20% off and free shipping if you visit zyppah.com. Use that promo code SNORE. Again, the promo code is SNORE at zyppah.com.